It is a common and painful fact of human experience to reach out a hand to anyone who shows signs of need or distress. This act of compassion and solidarity is a fundamental pillar of our humanity. However, there are individuals who take advantage of this generosity for their own selfish ends. They may manipulate, exploit, or even worse, ignore your personal boundaries, jeopardizing your emotional well-being. Refusing to accept or tolerate harmful behavior is by no means a sign of rudeness, but rather a necessary defense of your emotional integrity and mental well-being. When we are faced with people who continually disappoint our expectations or demonstrate toxic behavior, it can be tempting to invest additional energy in the hope of changing the situation. However, Stoic principles remind us that our time and energy are limited and precious resources. Even with the best of intentions, if the person involved is unwilling to change or cooperate for the common good, all our efforts will be fruitless. Before sacrificing further energy in unresolvable situations, it is crucial to recognize the signs that indicate an attempt to open a door that will remain firmly closed. In this video, we will guide you through the 9 types of individuals whose toxic and harmful behavior requires you to deny them help not as an act of hostility, but as an act of protection of your emotional integrity and overall well-being. Number 1. Those who live in fictional realities. In the vast landscape of human experience, some individuals immerse themselves in fictional worlds, embracing alternative realities for themselves. These individuals not only avoid the Stoic quest for self-awareness and inner transparency, but actively reject it, preferring instead to build an intricate labyrinth of illusions around themselves. In this realm of imagination, truth is distorted, and illusion is accepted as reality. They cling to self-created narratives, firmly believing in illusion as if it were truth, weaving a fabric of deception to adorn their existences. These people try to hide their insecurities and fears behind reassuring fantasies, transforming reality to fit their hopes and whims. However, this imaginative construction is not only a refuge, but also a prison, in which reality is constantly reshaped to satisfy their desires and to maintain an illusion of control over their lives. Number 2. Opportunists. A true friend is distinguished by his or her presence in times of real need, manifesting a mutual exchange of respect and affection. However, opportunists reveal themselves through an unceasing succession of requests and favors, often for superficial matters of no substantial value. These individuals do not consider the value of your time or respect your personal boundaries. You constantly find yourself complying with their requests despite your initial refusal, as they know how to guilt you into denying their appeal. Even after repeated attempts to rescue you or establish clear boundaries, opportunists persist in their quest for personal advantage, convinced that someone will always help them. This behavior not only shows a lack of respect for your autonomy and well-being, but is also a sign of an unbalanced and toxic relationship, in which the opportunist continually exploits your time, resources, and goodwill without giving anything in return. Number 3. Egocentrics. There are individuals so self-centered that they seem to believe that the world revolves around them. They live in an illusion of grandeur, convinced that every event, every whisper of fate, is the direct result of their presence. Imagine sharing your frustrations about chaotic city traffic, The egocentric not only ignores your words, but downplays them with casual disdain just because he or she was not involved in that traffic. When you are joyful in sharing news about a newly obtained job, the same person will quickly cast a shadow over your good news, obstructing your career or personal success. The egocentric, unable to see beyond their own ego, turns every conversation and interaction into a self-centered monologue, leaving little room for empathy or genuine engagement with others. Number 4. Those who do not recognize their own faults. These people rarely accept responsibility for their actions, showing a lack of self-criticism and humility, qualities considered crucial for stoic personal growth. They are unable to understand their own faults and feel infallible, forcing others to spend wasted time trying to persuade them to see beyond their own illusions. This attitude not only hinders their personal growth, but also damages their interpersonal relationships, as their lack of self-criticism prevents them from learning from their mistakes and improving as individuals. Their inability to recognize their own faults also makes them unwilling to apologize or make amends when their actions cause harm to others, creating tension and conflict in relationships. Number 5. Emotional manipulators. These individuals operate behind a mask of kindness, flattery, and even intimate closeness. Although they may initially appear caring and attentive, their true intent is to control your actions and feelings for their own benefit. You spend time trying to understand their emotional needs and satisfy them, while the manipulator takes advantage of your good faith, leaving you empty and confused. They use manipulative tactics such as guilt, fear, or pity to get what they want, without concern for the emotional or psychological consequences for others. Emotional manipulation undermines victims' confidence and self-esteem, making them vulnerable to emotional abuse and coercion. It is important to recognize and stop these harmful dynamics in order to protect one's emotional and psychological integrity. Number 6. Those who do not respect your boundaries. Your ability to establish and enforce boundaries is fundamental to maintaining healthy and satisfying relationships. However, some individuals not only ignore your personal boundaries, but also your clear signs of discomfort. They treat your boundaries as mere suggestions, constantly pushing them and making you uncomfortable. In such cases, it is essential to firmly defend your boundaries, keeping your emotional integrity safe. When others ignore your boundaries, it is important to clearly and assertively communicate your limits without fear of being judged or misinterpreted. Learn to say no without feeling guilty, and keep your boundaries firm, protecting your emotional and psychological well-being. Number 7. Those who constantly criticize. Constructive criticism is a way to help others grow and improve. However, some individuals exploit criticism as a means to diminish your self-esteem and personal worth. Their words are like sharp knives, digging into your spirit and weakening your self-confidence. Never accept unconstructive criticism as absolute truth. Rather, protect your self-esteem and refuse to be influenced by damaging words. Learn to distinguish between constructive and destructive criticism, and do not allow it to undermine your self-confidence. Keep a balanced perspective and focus your attention on your positive qualities and achievements, instead of being influenced by the negative opinions of others. Number 8. Those who constantly seek help without ever giving back. Being a shoulder to cry on for a friend in need is an act of empathy and compassion. However, there are individuals who keep asking for your support without ever offering their own in return. They are the same ones who disappear the moment you need them, leaving you alone to deal with your struggles. Recognize your value and don't be afraid to cut the toxic ties that only drag you down. Learn to set clear boundaries in relationships and be selective in giving your time and support. Focus on relationships that are reciprocal and nurturing, rather than those that are one-sided and dysfunctional. Number 9, the eternal pessimists. Life is a succession of ups and downs, an intricate maze of joys and challenges. While optimists see challenges as opportunities for growth, eternal pessimists cling to the dark side of life, refusing to see the light beyond the shadow. Their constant stream of negativity can envelop you in a gray cloud of despair, dragging you down. Be careful not to get pulled into their vortex of pessimism, but rather maintain an optimistic outlook towards the future. Maintain a positive outlook even in the face of life's challenges and difficulties. Be aware of the power of your mind and your ability to influence your experience. Cultivate a positive mindset, focusing on opportunities for growth and moments of joy, instead of being overwhelmed by the negativity of others. In conclusion, Stoic practice teaches us that rejection is not always an act of malice, but rather an act of emotional self-defense and personal growth. Learning to recognize the signs of toxicity in the people around us is crucial to preserving our mental and emotional health. We must not hesitate to defend our emotional boundaries, for we are the guardians of our own happiness and well-being. Let us remember that each individual has the right to choose who to let into their lives and who to keep out. We have to make conscious choices about who to allow to influence us and who to keep at a distance. Being true to our authenticity is essential to preserving our emotional and spiritual integrity. We must not allow toxic influences to dim our inner light. We hope this video has provided you with the clarity and strength you need to identify and address toxicity in relationships. We thank you for seeing us through to the end and encourage you to remain vigilant against negative influences in your life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next videos, and to leave a like if this content was helpful to you. See you in the next video, where we will explore further topics related to personal growth and emotional well-being. Thanks again, and see you soon.